Hey guys, Crewman here, and I had a really awesome piece of content that I wanted to get out to you today. It's a GPU comparison. You know, the things that are fun to watch. Product parts comparisons, trying to research your next build, trying to figure out your next build. Videos like that are fun. And instead I have to do a video about another product shortage. Remember when I told you yesterday, if you watched my video on the RAM shortage, which you can see right here, I told you that RAM prices more than doubled and you're going to miss the good old days when the only thing that you couldn't get your hands on was a GPU. Well, I read a few articles yesterday about something that I've seen coming, but I didn't want to scream wolf just yet because prices haven't gone up that much. But again, these articles and what I've heard in the background, unofficially off the record of course, have kind of swayed my hand. And that is that we are going to be experiencing another parts shortage. Storage, SSDs, NVMEs, HDDs. The great storage wars are coming. See what I did there? See what I did there? Huh? So I read a few articles yesterday. The first one being that SanDisk has a 50% price hike and says we will see SSD prices surge. Womp womp. I'll put a link down below, but basically they're saying what everyone else is saying, and that AI centers are gobbling up every bit of storage that they can get their hands on. Now I know, around 2021, 2022, we had a mini crisis where RAM and storage kind of got a little expensive, but then they calmed down and a big supply started to build up and prices actually went down. Well, what you've been seeing over the last probably 4 to 6 months is AI centers buy up 2.5 to 4 years worth of supply, and here we are. The next article I saw was, I can't pronounce this guy, Phison CEO confirms NAND prices have more than doubled and will continue to rise, and all of 2026 production is sold out. See something familiar? We basically saw the same thing in yesterday's video with RAM. And SSDs are facing a pricing apocalypse throughout 2027. 2027! Remember the good old days when all you had to worry about was buying a GPU? Remember that? At least everything else was relatively reasonably priced. Now it seems like everything is getting expensive. Oh, let's make it worse. This one's from Tom's Hardware. Data center hard drives are on back order for 2 years as data centers trigger HDD shortage. Delays forcing rapid transition to QLC SSDs. I have no idea what QLC is. I'll do some research on that at a later date. That's not the point of this video. The point of this video is to tell you that we have a serious problem, and that is a memory shortage. Now, let me explain to you what I mean. Alright guys, so if you're new to the channel, welcome, and please like and subscribe. If you've been following my channel, you know that I dabble in PC flipping. I use PC flipping as a means to generate content and to help support the channel. So I get to build PCs, I get to sell PCs, make a little bit of a profit, I get to put them in the hands of gamers and people who need PCs, and I get content and fund the channel. So I was using 500 gig SSDs, M.2s. I bought a 10-pack back in February of 2025. Paid $262 for everything. So about, it came out to like 20, 25 bucks a card or an SSD. Look at how much that costs now. You see that? That is $450, up from 262 bucks. Basically $200 increase. So what, like 100% basically? I stink at math, so you do the math on that, but just look at that. We're talking less than a year. We're talking 8 months difference. Now, you might be saying, Crewman, the prices have been steadily going up. That's not that bad. I mean, it is incredibly bad, but let me give you something that's a little more recent. Here's a 1 terabyte drive I bought for a PC flip. Actually, to upgrade a PC flip that I had. Paid 62 bucks. Kind of wasn't thrilled about it, but it is what it is. What does that... So that was in September. So that was less than 2 months ago. What does it cost now? $82. $20 increase and like a 30-ish% increase in 2 months, 30%. If that was GPUs, you guys would all be screaming. So basically, if that was GPUs, right, that would be a $2,000 GPU going up to $2,300 GPU. And everybody would lose their mind. So we have a problem, a pretty big problem that needs to be addressed. And the biggest problem is A, it can't be addressed, and B, unlike yesterday's video, right, I don't recommend buying used storage. If you buy used storage off somebody, you don't know where it's been. You don't know what they're doing with it. You don't know if there was a virus on it. You don't know if they got malware on it. You don't know if the malware stayed on it. There are basically 3 pieces of parts that I don't recommend buying used: power supplies, AIOs, and storage. But you could get away with the first 2 in certain edge cases, but you never, ever, ever, ever buy SSDs or M.2s or HDDs used unless you like buy it off your best friend. But even then, I just still wouldn't do it. There's so much that could go wrong. So you can't even scour the secondary market for these. So basically what I'm going to tell you now is buy now. I hate talking about panic buying, and I hate encouraging panic buying, but if you are a PC flipper, you should be buying them now. If you are someone who builds PCs for people, you should be buying them now. If it supports your business, if you are a PC gamer, you absolutely should be buying them now. And I said in a video a while ago, said that we have a serious problem with PC gaming, and that was that most people were only using 500 to 1 terabyte drives, when games like any AAA game at this point is almost 200 gigs in size, which means that you're getting like 4 games per piece per drive. And with the incredible games that have been coming out, like there's been 4 or 5 games that have came out over the last 6 months that have been bangers. And it just seems like every month we're getting a new great game coming out. That means that you're going to have to uninstall and reinstall, and I can tell you from benchmarking games and testing games with test benches that need bigger drives, which I'm working on now, you need bigger drives, like a minimum of 2 to 4 terabytes, and those are going up even faster. So what I'm trying to say is you need to buy memory storage, and you need to buy it now. I hate talking about panic buying, but you need to do it. If you are watching this video and you are on the fence, do it now before it's too late. I know, thankfully, between my sponsors, Patriot, Kingston, and MSI, shout out to all 3 of them, and I'll have links down below for all of their drives, which I certainly recommend buying. I've been able to basically upgrade my computers with all the storage I need, and share with you guys that it's time to upgrade. But guys, when I say it's time to upgrade, I mean it's really time to upgrade. This is me sounding the alarm bells and telling you you need to do it now. With that out of the way, you don't want to get caught up in the storage war. Well, storage shortage, but storage war sounds better. So, thank you for watching. I will have updates on prices of RAM, storage, and other components. I will be tracking them more regularly now to kind of just give you trends and let you know how screwed you are, because frankly it's only going to get worse every week. The longer you wait, the more expensive it's going to be. Now if you can't afford to buy, you can't afford to buy, I get that. But if you can, do it now, and use my links or don't. I don't even care. I'm just telling you, don't wait, it's going to be too late. Don't wait or it's going to be too late. Alright, that's it for this one. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe for more gloom and doom. Peace out.